Good morning. Hello. I hope you're having a good morning. And if you're not, well, we're in this together. We'll get through it. There's Frankie, and there's his toy. He'd rather have my shoes. He had 2 different shoes up on his bed, so that means he would have destroyed 2 pair for the price of 1. Yes. Yes. It has been so hot and humid that he hasn't spent a lot of time outside. And Hudson stayed in his yard. Frankie stayed in his yard because it's just too hot for them. And it's been so rainy that the mud, neither one of us wants the mud in our house because they'll go in and out of the doggy doors because they like to play in front of us. They'll play outside for a while, but they have to run in and out. So he's been going a little stir crazy, I think. I hear you. But, and you know, I take him out in the mornings to go for a little run. And I'll run him. I'll go, come on, Frankie. And he'll go. And he'll run down the street or run down a few yards. And I'll say, Frankie, come. And he'll run all the way back. It's so cute. It's so cute. But yesterday, you got some itches? You got some itches? No. Good boy. He went running across the street and he caught a rabbit. He's so quick. And I guess he's some kind of hound. He's a dog. He's gonna chase animals, and it was hard for me to see. And it's not the first time. He looks so dignified, sweet, and innocent, but he's also that dignified with his hunting. I mean, his hunting skills are amazing. He spots something and he's on it, and he can scramble to get it. And so since we have met, he has brought me a squirrel. And what I mean by that is he caught it in the backyard, and he was so proud he brought it in on my bed. Oh, kind of breaks my heart to think he loves me that much to kill, I don't know, to bring me his kill. I don't know. Or maybe he just thought it was the most private place to eat. I don't know. And then, sadly, he killed a little bird. He loves to chase the birds. But he's not just chasing them for fun. He's doing it for business. Then he killed a little baby bunny. He ate it. Just ate it. I tried to take it away from him, and it was too late and halfway down his throat, and it was horrible. And then this bunny, which it was a teenager, it just couldn't run fast enough. Ow. Don't lick me with your bunny mouth. So anyway, I don't know whether your daggers need to be cut. Look how, holy cow, boy. How'd that happen? Kind of like how I let my nails grow too long this last couple weeks. They're down now, though. I couldn't take it another day. You gonna fall off the bed? You gonna fall off the bed? Aw. Okay, you need to concentrate on your toy. I gotta put on a little makeup. I've got an appointment. So anyway, I don't know what to do. Oh, I know why he's being so aggressive. I moved his treat jar over here. That was a mistake. There you go. That was a mistake. He saw it. Okay, I'm gonna put it back over here where it belongs. Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay, so back to me. Let's talk about me. Anyway, that's why I'm here, to vent and to chit-chat over morning coffee. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I haven't checked my messages yet because I've had a weird discombobulated weekend. It went weirdly fast. It just disappeared. I had a weirdly, sometimes this happens. It usually happens in February because that's when a lot of people, I think, are getting ready for taxes. I know that sounds weird, but it's February where people start realizing, oh, anyway, that's what I hear. And a lot of hairdressers complain about February, and I always tell them, track year to year, because that's what I do. I track how much money I make excuse me, on certain days, and the 52 weeks, how much money I made each week, and then how much money I made each month, and how much money I've made each year. It's pretty easy to track if you just get organized. And I can tell you there are certain weeks and certain months that absolutely correlate with every year. Now, I like to budget for hard times. I like to feel like that, but there are a lot of people who live paycheck to paycheck. There are a lot of people who like toys. And honestly, I get that. People say, well, if you're gonna live, you gotta live. Well, I get that. I just don't like paying more for things than I need to, so I don't like buying things on credit. And I don't like being in debt. I've had too much heartache being so poor I couldn't afford food or shelter when I was a kid with my mom. You know, there are certain lessons we can learn no matter how horrible our life was. And I can tell you that when I was a child, just being born, my mother was an alcoholic and she was very abusive. She and my father divorced when I was about a year old. And so she spent most of her time trying to find herself, trying to find safety, trying to find someone to love her, and trying to get the next drink. That's what that was about. And back then, because Children and Family Services hadn't gotten as advanced as it was, or is now, which isn't a lot, in my opinion, they're still figuring it out. They're still trying to put kids with their families, and I can tell you that back with their families through a lot of abuse, and I can tell you that doesn't usually work out very well, even though that's what the kids want, so it makes it hard on the foster or adoptive parents. Kids would rather be with their families, but I can tell you that I think there should be more counseling with children to help them adjust to their new families, instead of putting them back with people who have proven for a very short time that they're clean and sober, or not at all. They just have it under control. And I'm not trying to put anybody down. I've worked with addicts. I worked with drug court, and I see the big heart that a lot of people have that are struggling with life. And it's sad. I'm not saying they don't have a struggle, but I can also say I've seen a lot of children who have been used for payment. And it's sad, really sad. Anyway, skip over that. So some of the lessons that I learned as a child, moving from place to place, feeling like we had to live under the radar because her reputation wasn't very good in town. She was excuse me, I had to shut the door. She was usually a bartender in town and flirted a lot to get those tips. Excuse me. Oh, maybe that's a sign to not tell too much yet. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna use that Fit Me powder today to give me a little extra color. Yes. So some of the things that I learned, oh, look at that color. Oh, I gotta get some more of that. I love being tan. I'm just afraid it won't match very well with my neck. So I'm gonna bring it down. Now, if I were gonna go out for an occasion, I'd have to make sure I put foundation on my arms, powder on my arms, just to give me a little extra color. Because I think, I don't know, I'll see what it looks like in a few hours. We'll see. And anyway, going back to things we learned as a kid. So I learned shame and embarrassment and secrets very young, and that I wasn't worth it. Because when she was working, one of the ways she avoided being judged is she made it very clear we were to be quiet and keep away from the windows so that she could go to work and didn't have to have a babysitter because she didn't want to spend the money on it. Yeah. So that's too bad. So anyway, you can see where when you learn that kind of behavior at a very young age, it gets into your head. It gets into your head. So with a lot of therapy, you kind of learn that, you know, this is my life now, and I'll live it the way I want to, and that any consequences that I'm still paying are ones that I've probably created myself, because my problems aren't her fault anymore. My problems are now whether I've gotten the therapy I need or if I'm causing myself more problems. I have to take, I've learned that I have to take responsibility. Now, she never, as long as I knew her, had a way of being responsible for money, paycheck to paycheck, even though she had a lot of help from some of these friends that she had consistently in her life. I mean, I know that we got a cut rate on rent often, depending on where she decided to live and who was the landlord, right? So when you think about it, when you think about how a child attaches even their living situation with shame and embarrassment, right? So that might be something you might want to look at. Like, I'm not just trying to get, like, sympathy for my childhood. I'm telling you how complicated shame can be sometimes. It wasn't just about being broke. It wasn't just about what she did for a living. It was how they intertwined together to give me the impression of what my worth was. You know, and I come from the Midwest where it's like mother, or like father like son, like mother like daughter, apple off the tree, you know, things like that. I don't know if that's common everywhere, but it's common to, you know, that's what I heard when I was a kid. So that kind of freaked me out. I wish I could put my makeup on in the camera or in the phone. I don't have a camera. See, I came back down too far on my cheeks. My face is already thin and saggy enough. I don't like that. I think I'll try to lighten that up a little bit. That's with that real white CoverGirl powder. Just trying to lighten it up. Eyebrows. So that's why it's important to me to budget, because the more I take care of myself, the less I have to be embarrassed or ashamed of in my head. The more I pay my own way, the more gotta get it wet so it'll take eyebrow color. I'm just gonna pick a color out of my neutrals palette. I can almost do this blindfolded. Feels so good to have that cool moisture on there. So anyway, yeah, it makes me feel bad when people get into debt and can't pay their bills. And so I was one of the people that helped me figure out how to be responsible financially, tried to help me wrap my mind around long-term goals versus short-term gratification. And it took me a while. It was difficult. It wasn't easy for me to learn. My mind never wrapped around how long I was going to live. And what purchases I would need to make other than saving up for a car. Things like that. So, I feel like it was easier for me to get through my trauma from childhood, a lot of those insecurities, because I hit the bottom where I was ready to die. And I met just the right person in just the right place. And I think that's what made it easier for me too. In just the right way. To help me realize I had a choice to start my life over. Now, or be reincarnated later, maybe. And if I had the guts to do that, I could have the guts to experience or experiment with life here. Right? So don't think that it's ever too late to change your mind, to change your life, to change your attitude, to change your address. To recognize that you might have had horrible childhood, horrible experiences. But what are you going to do with it now? Is it your fault? Probably not. I mean, it gets complicated. A lot of us take the blame. What if I did or didn't do something? But sooner or later, that needs to stop. Why am I bringing this up? Because I was doing monkey grass yesterday. And oh, my sore right now. But I was doing monkey grass yesterday, and it started making me think. One of the things that I still have that I haven't been able to stop yet is that I suck my mouth really tight. And I started thinking about a negative situation that happened recently, and I held on to it somehow. I wasn't even really thinking deeply about it, but my body had a reaction to it, and I just kind of clenched my teeth and sucked the roof of my mouth. I don't know if you do that. A lot of my clients do that. And so I put together, I thought, oh, that's an old neural pathway. You know what that means? It means, like with my mom, it was shut your mouth and don't open it. Right? Isn't it interesting how our body keeps the score? That body memory is amazing, right? So shut your mouth and don't open it. So clenching my teeth, shut my mouth, and don't open it. The key was sucking the roof of my mouth so it couldn't open, right? Oh, I just thought, fudge. Oh, life just keeps opening itself up. Isn't that a miracle that our body does that? So that's why I kind of mention body awareness often. It's just so interesting. So think about that today. Think about what are you experiencing? What are you feeling that makes you think or feel a certain way, so that you can look at it, get to know it, accept it, and then make a decision on how you might want to experience with changing it. It's up to you, right? And I'm here to help, whatever I can do. Mwah. I better get going. So know that I want the very best for you. Give it a shot. All right. Mwah. Bye for now.